What's going on, Ragnarok Zero Global fans? This is Ryan, and you saw the video title and you were like, oh, okay, this is what I'm gonna be farming, like bear's foot skins and stuff like that, skeleton bones and whatever else. That's what he's gonna talk about. But no! In fact, in my opinion, the top items that you can farm when Ragnarok Zero Global is gonna launch are actually equipments. And here's the reason why. These right here. It's the random affixes that you get on these equipments. I'm sure everybody that has tried the open beta of Ragnarok Zero Global is already quite familiar with them and knows how impactful they can be. So here's the thing. When the game launches, we're not gonna have all these free cash points, and we're not gonna have all these buffs and everything. So we're gonna be significantly weaker. And these items are not only going to significantly boost your character whenever you'll be using them, if you'll be using them, but then you can sell them forward to other people who are like behind the curve and will not be using these items yet, or will not be having them yet. So that's the thing. And I'm gonna start with the number one right here. In my opinion, you should go ahead and farm coats or any other easily obtainable armor that's fairly light and at the same time easily farmed, and usable by every other class. So you can use it on a novice, but you can use it on a swordman, archer, mage, acolyte, whatever, so that's gonna be extremely universal. That's a great thing. And the thing is, it can roll with up to 3 affixes, with 2 of them can be related to your HP, which is just great. You can get 2 HP. This is armor right here. You can get 2 HP rolls, 1 on slot 1, which is almost always there, right? I don't think we drop items without any affixes. So you can roll max HP up to 350 points, which basically, for most classes, that doubles their HP right off the bat, right? And then if you manage to roll something even more tanky, like flee or defense as the second slot, that just bumps the value of the item really quickly and like doubles your survivability if it's flee at max roll. And then if you manage to get it at slot 3 as well with max HP, then you basically found yourself a fantastic great item, right? Even if your rolls are in the lower range, this is gonna be a very, very desirable item for you and for everybody else. You can resell this later once you're done using it. So that's probably something that I will be farming right off the bat. Well, not maybe right off the bat, because the coats drop from caramels. You cannot really right away go to caramels. That's like the second place that you farm along with Bigfoots. But it's still very early game, very easily auto-huntable. I'm gonna say it like this, and I think this is something that you should definitely be farming. So that was the coats. Number 2 will be the shoes. Or really sandals or anything else, easily. So either shoes or sandals. Shoes drops from Moonax, sandals drop from something I forgot. I'm sure you can figure it out where sandals drop, right? And for the same reason, because you can get fantastic rolls on shoes. And in my opinion, if you get flat HP or SP on them, if you get percentage HP, that's not gonna be very useful. And the same applies to armor. It's like, if your character has like 300 HP baseline, your 5% increase in HP is not gonna do a lot. But a flat increase in another 250 HP, that's amazing. So if you manage to roll like flat HP or SP on it, and then maybe a second slot with flee, and then a third slot again with max HP and SP, fantastic rolls, right? You don't really want to get the resistance rolls as the third slot, especially on those very first items. Your best rolls are basically gonna be flat HP, SP, and flee, maybe defense, like the second most desirable, I suppose. Other than that, nothing else really matters. But they're fairly easy to get. Most of this gear drops to like 1% chance from every mob that you can farm. So it's gonna be extremely easy to get, and you're gonna be killing thousands and thousands and thousands of those monsters anyway, right? So you got a lot of chances to roll the dice. Now, let's move on to the weapons. In my opinion, you should be definitely hunting these, the Damascus daggers. And here's the thing, they drop from Megalodons in the East Komodo Cave, the same map where Tarafrogs are. Megalodons are very easy to kill. The map is very safe, so to speak. The only aggressive thing is there is a Hydra, and Hydras are easy to kill. And you will be killing them while farming Tarafrogs anyway, to level up. This is like the third spot that people usually go to around level 30, so it's gonna be very, very accessible is the right word for it. And next thing is, well, a lot of people are gonna be playing Thief, and then a lot of people will be playing Rogues. Like, I'm willing to bet, like, at least 25% of characters made within the first month are gonna be Rogues. Because people wanna go ahead and farm Zenny. And they will be needing very, very high attack power daggers, which Damascus is a very, very high attack power dagger, that can roll additionally with extremely good affixes, such as these. Let's go to melee series affixes. You get flat attack on it from between 5 and to 30. But if you roll 5, you might as well just throw it on the ground, doesn't matter. But if you roll in the upper areas, like above 20, I think, attack roll is gonna be great. And then if you manage to roll a second one, I think the best thing to roll on the second one would be hit instead of flee, but we'll see how it goes. Either hit or flat attack speed +1. And then if you get a slot free with, at first, in my opinion, physical damage to certain race, like certain useful race, probably Formless is gonna be very useful at the beginning, probably Brute is gonna be very useful at the beginning, Demi-Human is gonna be useful at the beginning, Insects, and I think that's about it, right? So if you roll physical damage percentage increase to those races, or ignore defense rolls for those races, then it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a fantastic item you're gonna be using for a very long time if you're a Thief class, or somebody else will be paying you a lot of Zenny or a lot of other very, very good items for it, especially early game, because Damascus is one of those weapons that, as a rogue player, I would probably be using for a very, very, very long time. Most likely up until the highest levels of the game, simply because there will probably be nothing to replace it with as a rogue. You don't want to use swords, because if you're gonna be going backstab, what's the point of using swords, right? A lot of us will be going backstab build because it's very, very easy and very efficient at the beginning to use it and just one-shot monsters every now, like here and there, right? And it's easy to obtain. You can get a good rolls on it. You can refine it. There's hardly anything that competes with it until, I wanna be fair, but I forgot like where the next weapon would really drop from. But yeah, Damascus is gonna be a great weapon to farm. Next, two-handed swords, because I think the second most popular class at the beginning will be a knight, because knights have Bowling Bash, and Bowling Bash has been reworked and it's extremely overpowered and people will be rolling knights crazy. Two-handed swords are quite easily obtainable. They are dropped from metallers. So same thing, same rolls. If you manage to get it with a big amount of attack on affix 1, and then probably hit or flee, probably flee for knights really, and then physical damage to a very useful race of monsters, you got yourself a fortune right there, because that's gonna be a very good sword for a lot of Bowling Bash knights, and quite easily obtainable. These items are very easily farmable, so like once you're like a little bit ahead of the curve or like higher level, you can start farming these slowly. First use them by yourself, then sell them forward, right? Next thing, hoods. Hoods are like one of those items that people forget exist, because they're dropped from monsters that hardly anybody farms, right? But with Ragnarok Zero Global, Cocos are actually a popular thing. So people will be farming Cocos once they hear about it, but first they have to hear about it, because the first garment that people think of is always the muffler that Sohis drop. At least that's the feeling that I'm getting from the player base. But hoods can drop with the exact same affixes as the muffler can, and you can get fantastic affixes on the garment, which include, once again, flat HP and SP rolls, flee, again, flee on the garment. That's gonna so much flee from gear, it's insane. And then you can get yet another roll, again with flat HP and SP. So that is just, you know, something that people will be paying you a lot of money for. Everybody wants to use hood. It's a universal item, it's not restricted to any classes. It's gonna be extremely powerful to farm, and it's very easy to farm too. So again, if you can one-shot these Cocos, go ahead and do that when the game launches. Farm them all day, find a bunch of hoods, keep them for, you know, for a while. Don't sell them right away for like 20k Zenny, but be like, you know, hold them until people have like a couple millions, sell them for like 500,000 Zenny, boom. Easy money, right? Arbalists. A lot of archers will be there for sure, because from what I've noticed, there's a lot of people like coming back from like pre-renewals and all of that. They'll be trying auto blitzer builds and all of that stuff, right? But like really good bows come in later. Like Gakungs are harder to obtain than Arbalest. Arbalest drops from Steel Shonshon, and Gakung drops from like Argiopis, I think. So there's a disparity in difficulty there. So Arbalests will be a lot like easier obtainable, and you can sell them quicker. There will be a lot of archers for sure. A lot of people will be playing Hunter. It's a great class. Not for me, but overall I think it's a great class. And people will be paying you a big premium if you manage to roll high attack rolls on it, because again, I think like Hunter is really gonna scale very well with attack as well. So yeah, these are the things that I think you should be farming. Instead of farming rolls you should focus on finding great rolls on these early items, because they will be very highly in demand. And great rolls on these, especially in the higher tiers of every slot, are going to be irreplaceable for quite a while. So even if new content comes out, and something new gets introduced, I don't know what's gonna be like, what's gonna be their like way of introducing the content, what's gonna come next. But even if they introduce some of those quote-unquote series items, they're not immediately going to replace your weapons. So yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what do you think about what I said, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.